The lights at Crypto.com Arena have seen dynasties rise and fall. They have watched legends arrive as saviors and leave as ghosts. On Sunday night, those lights will also illuminate something quieter, subtler, but potentially just as consequential. A player in the opposing uniform. A name most casual fans barely know. And a moment that could quietly signal the next turn in the Los Angeles Lakers' never-ending search for balance. Keon Ellis will walk onto the floor wearing Sacramento Kings colors. But make no mistake, many eyes in purple and gold will be locked onto him. Because sometimes, the future doesn't announce itself with fireworks. Sometimes, it shows up in a Pacific Division matchup in late January, hiding in the details. A defensive rotation, a corner three, a stolen pass that flips momentum for 12 seconds. This is one of those moments. The Lakers' season has been defined by tension. Not collapse, not dominance, but an uncomfortable in-between. A roster with championship DNA, yet glaring gaps. But teams still orbiting the gravitational pull of LeBron James. Still dependent on Anthony Davis anchoring both ends, but desperately needing connective tissue around them. Players who don't need the ball, who defend instinctively, who stretch the floor without demanding the spotlight. That's where this story begins. Because the Lakers aren't just watching the Kings on Sunday. They're scouting a solution. Keon Ellis is not a star. He doesn't sell jerseys. He doesn't trend on debate shows. But in NBA front offices, his name has been echoing with increasing volume. And not quietly. At least half the league has asked about him. That's not speculation. That's an NBA general manager speaking bluntly. The kind of honesty that only comes when a trade deadline is looming and leverage is shifting. Ellis is 24. A 3-and-D wing in the purest sense of the phrase. A career 41.8% shooter from three. A perimeter defender who understands angles, timing, and effort. The unglamorous currencies of winning basketball. And yet somehow, he has spent most of this season on the fringes in Sacramento. 17 minutes a night. Inconsistent usage. A role that never quite settled. Not because of talent, but because of circumstance. The Kings didn't offer him an extension last offseason. That decision quietly set a clock in motion. An expiring contract worth just $2.3 million. A player approaching free agency without a guaranteed future. And now, a franchise sitting at 8-23, reportedly preparing for a fire sale ahead of the February 5th trade deadline. When teams fall out of contention, they don't just lose games, they lose patience. And suddenly, opportunity appears. Ellis's opportunity came abruptly on Saturday night. Keegan Murray went down with a mild calf strain. The Kings needed a starter. Ellis stepped in and delivered one of the most complete performances of his season. 21 points, 3 steals, 2 blocks. Against Dallas, in a win. It wasn't flashy. It was efficient, decisive, controlled. The kind of performance that makes scouts lean forward in their seats and executives text assistants at halftime. Because this is exactly how market value changes in the NBA. One injury, one start, one reminder. And now, with Murray expected to miss at least a week, Ellis is likely to start again, this time on the road against the Lakers. A showcase, whether Sacramento intends it or not. For the Lakers, the timing couldn't be more revealing. Their front office knows what this roster lacks. The league knows it too. Perimeter defense, reliable shooting, players who can be plugged into high-leverage minutes without disrupting offensive flow or defensive schemes. Ellis checks those boxes, and he does it cheaply. According to The Athletic's Dan Woik, the Kings' asking price is a restricted first-round pick, a cost the Lakers can match. But they won't be alone, far from it. Miami is circling. New Orleans is watching. Dallas is monitoring. Contenders and pretenders alike see the same thing. A plug-and-play wing on an expiring deal who could instantly crack any rotation in the league. That's rare. He has not even played that great this season, the GM admitted. But he's cheap, and everybody needs another guy who can knock down shots and defend on the perimeter. That sentence alone explains the frenzy, because the NBA trade market isn't just about stars. It's about margins, about finding value where others hesitated, about identifying players whose roles don't reflect their impact. The Lakers have lived on both sides of that reality. They've chased stars and lost depth. They've ignored role players and paid the price in May. And now, as the LeBron era inches closer to its final chapters, every decision feels heavier, more urgent. Ellis isn't the only name on the Lakers board. Andrew Wiggins, Herb Jones, Daniel Gafford. Different archetypes, different costs, different risks. But Ellis represents something unique. A low-risk, high-fit move. No ego, no learning curve. No long adjustment period. Just defense, shooting, effort. The kind of player championship teams rely on once the noise fades and possessions start to matter. And Sunday night, Lakers fans won't just be watching a divisional game. They'll be watching a live audition, a glimpse into a possible future rotation, a test of how Ellis's skills translate against LeBron's gravity, Davis's interior dominance, and the pressure of the league's most scrutinized jersey. Because in Los Angeles, every trade rumor carries history. Every deadline move is judged not just on fit, but on legacy. Will this be another missed opportunity? Or the kind of quiet acquisition that swings a playoff series when no one is looking? And the NBA is built on moments like this, fleeting, easy to overlook, but decisive. A wing player starting because someone else is hurt. A struggling franchise willing to listen. A contender searching for answers in the margins. And somewhere between a corner three and a chase-down contest, a future may begin to take shape. Watch closely on Sunday, because sometimes the most important stories don't start with headlines. They start with a player you weren't expecting. And when the buzzer sounds, the real question won't just be who won the game. It'll be whether the Lakers just saw a missing piece or watched him slip away. Let that sit with you, and when the game ends, ask yourself what you really saw.